Hello, my dearest channel members, and welcome to the Social Stud Live post show. Yeah! We're all so excited! I'm excited. I don't know about you. Today we're going to be doing something pretty fun. We're going to be checking out more epic rap battles of history. I've done a lot of these on the main channel. I've done a good amount of them for the members only as well. And we're going to be doing a few that maybe don't lean as heavily on the history stuff. I guess there's historical elements here. We have some real people who are involved in these battles. We have John Lennon versus Bill O'Reilly. I guess by all means, that's historical at this point. There's John Lennon, and there's Bill O'Reilly, who recently I saw reemerge from wherever he's been. He interviewed Trump, and I was like, wow, it's Bill O'Reilly. I forgot about him. Like, he's always kind of been around. His books are still hits and whatever. But I kind of allowed myself to forget about him for a little while because of him not being like the biggest show on Fox News. It's so crazy. I was so used to Bill O'Reilly being like the top thing on Fox News for so long. He was the voice of Fox News. When I think of Fox News, I think of Bill O'Reilly. It hasn't been that way for a little while now, but he's still the guy that I really associate with right-wing political commentary in the mainstream, which is really interesting. And he was kind of always the opposition as I was going through my political awakening. When I see Bill O'Reilly standing for something, I'm like, yeah, I'm opposed to that guy. If he's saying something, I'm probably against it. That's just, as somebody who's just learning about politics, and it's such a binary thing in the early stages. It's so easy to pick a side. Bill O'Reilly was one of those guys that it helped me define what my opposition was early on. Though I would say I like him more than a lot, almost any Fox host ever. He might be my favorite, even if it is kind of a love-hate thing, because he's something that I've learned and got used to during a very interesting time when I'm still trying to learn politics and all that. As far as John Lennon goes, I don't have a whole lot of attachment to John Lennon. A lot of musicians I listen to are very much inspired by the Beatles. Like, I'm a huge Oasis fan. And they channel the Beatles constantly, but I've never really connected all that well with John Lennon or the Beatles. There's like a handful of songs that I enjoy. I don't mind them by any means. Just there's always been kind of a distance. I haven't been able to close that distance and truly connect with the Beatles. I don't like to say that I hate the music or even dislike the music. I more say it doesn't speak to me. The Beatles doesn't speak to me, or they haven't spoken to me, and I haven't really connected with them on that level yet. So I don't really have any bias here. I guess I would want John Lennon to beat Bill O'Reilly because I've historically not enjoyed Bill O'Reilly, but also I've kind of liked the bad guys in epic rap battles. When you're a bad guy, you can do so much more. So there's possibilities here. This is the first ever epic rap battle of history, and I have seen it. It's been a very, very long time since I've seen the first epic rap battle of history. I could have sworn this was on like the Barely Political Stuff with the Key of Awesome channel. I could have sworn this was on that channel at some point, but maybe I'm wrong. So let's check it out.
Epic rap battles of history.
Oh, the announcer's voice is so different.
Bill O'Reilly. Begin.
Hell, you're making my ears bleed. You need a muzzle. Why you pissed off all the time? Didn't your mom give you a cuddle? You're the type of guy who could die of a heart attack just in the shower. You need to chill out for a minute and smoke weed for an hour.
So Bill O'Reilly, he's very uptight. So I guess that's a fair thing to say about him. He also is it was instrumental in creating like the public conservative narrative around the war on drugs during his time. While the war on drugs had been going on for a little while, Bill O'Reilly kind of defined a lot of the conservative public narrative for a very long time because he was the biggest show on Fox News. I don't know if anything's ever rivaled him. I think he kind of blows everything from today out of the water. Although television metrics have changed a lot since then, so I don't think it's necessarily fair to compare any of the current stuff to Bill O'Reilly, because during the time where Bill O'Reilly was on top, television meant a lot more. So I guess that's kind of important.
Every time I watch your show, all you do is scream at me, and your face looks like a shit I took. High on LSD. I'm John Lennon. I'm a legend. I can see through all your tricks. I wonder how much George Bush paid you to suck his dick. You fucking long hair.
So, Bill O'Reilly, he really was a stenographer to power. That's always kind of been what the mainstream media is. Depending on the political bend of that mainstream media program, Fox is obviously a right-leaning program, so he's a stenographer to power. During the Bush years, he pushed for everything with very little differentiation. That's what makes people kind of question like political pundits and whether or not they're being honest or not. Because here's an interesting thing that I always deal with when I'm looking at political commentators that I disagree with. Is it an honest disagreement, or is it a cynical situation we got going on here? Do they just honestly believe everything that I'm opposed to, and they hold it sincerely in their hearts, and they weighed all the elements and just came out to a different conclusion from me? Or is it just like a career political commentator doing what it takes, preaching to a base and telling them what they want to hear? Bill O'Reilly, sometimes it was hard to tell. I think Bill O'Reilly could sometimes be very cynical. I don't think it was always him just being honest. Because, like, but I think he's better than a lot of them. Like Sean Hannity, that guy's a hack. That guy, he believes something completely different the second a new person is in power. There's an amazing amount of like compilations of Sean Hannity believing one thing in the Obama years and believing a different thing in the Bush years and believing something else in the Trump years. That's how Sean Hannity, he would flip with the wind. Bill O'Reilly, he was a little more consistent than like a Hannity was. So I guess I can give him that much. In a way, I kind of miss him compared to how I would not really miss Sean Hannity if he was out of the spotlight, because I don't think he's an honest actor. I at least have that room for doubt with Bill O'Reilly that maybe he's a little bit honest and he's just like really, really wrong all the time.
Through all your tricks, I wonder how much George Bush paid you to suck his dick. You fucking long hair, living in your yellow submarine. We're about to get sunk by the right-wing political machine. Stop.
Dude, I like the John Lennon verse was, it wasn't that great. I like that it says not news in the corner, so they don't even hide that Bill O'Reilly's the bad guy in this. They know who they like. Obviously the ERB people, they're kind of left leaning. There's a lot of evidence of that in the presidential rap battles. This is just another example of that. Long hair is an interesting thing to call somebody like John Lennon, because I think that's a good term for a like right-leaning person to give somebody like John Lennon. A long hair, in the time that Lennon is from, you think of somebody who's like kind of idealistic, maybe not the most pragmatic person. Like Bill O'Reilly, he would claim that he's about pragmatism and getting things done, while this happy hippie liberal dude has a lot of happy ideas and stuff, but he's not really able to, I guess, practically execute them. And that's something that would be associated with like the hippie, long-haired people of his time.
Through all your tricks, I wonder how much George Bush paid you to suck his dick.
You fucking long hair, living in your yellow submarine. We're about to get sunk by the right-wing political machine. Stop your presses, Lennon. You call me Mr. Bill O'Reilly. When it comes to squash and limeys, I come recommended highly. You weak.
Can I just say that, like, I don't get all the Beatles references. I understand there's some Beatles songs being thrown in here. I don't know all of them. The Yellow Submarine thing, okay, fine. Can I just say that, like, the costumes, like, if they did this again, they would kill it visually. Like, there's like no makeup or anything involved here. Sorry, just gotta grab the bird a snack. There we go. So yeah, like this does not look at all like Bill O'Reilly. Today he would have like all the makeup done. He would have like all the wrinkles put in and all this. I guess this is supposed to be a young Bill O'Reilly, like from the infamous incident where he has his like, F it, we'll do it live freak out. But this still doesn't look like, he looked old back then. Older than this.
Between you and me, there's no comparison. I'll beat you so bad you weep gently like George Harrison. You're Paul McCartney's bitch with less talent than Ringo. And I'd rather suck George Bush's dick than Yoko Ono's.
Well, you can't
Ooh. I guess Lennon, I don't know a ton about his relationship with Yoko Ono, but he would be considered like, if he did what he did today, he'd be called a simp, I believe, to Yoko Ono. I mean, yeah. Okay, that's a good one. And it doesn't rhyme, but it's like one of those things where you think he's setting up something and then he subverts your expectations of what he's going to say, you know? You think he's about, I guess it kind of rhymes. Ringo, Yoko Ono. It's not a good rhyme. But like I think the subversion of expectations does kind of make it slightly better. But like, yeah, the writing's not on the same level as it is today.
Well, less talent than Ringo, and I'd rather suck George Bush's dick than Yoko Ono's.
Well, you can't buy me love, but I'll kick your ass for free. I'll take Maxwell's silver hammer and give you a lobotomy. I'm tired of how you scheme to stir the people up. Why don't you just take a vacation and shut the fuck up?
Cause I'm evil, hard black, and then Don Cheadle. $10,000 shoes I used to stomp out a beetle. Don't tell me to shut the fuck up, that's how I survive. Now here's Sting, but fuck it, we'll do it live!
Who won? Who's next?
And that was like the direct reference to what I was talking about earlier. If you haven't seen the Bill O'Reilly freak out video, he's just having so much trouble he's trying to like film like a transition for like some sort of a news story, and he finishes saying something and then he has to cut away to Sting with a cut off his new album or something, and he just can't say whatever is on the teleprompter. He's just having so much trouble, and he keeps doing take after take like it's not live. And then they're getting to the point where it's like, okay, we have to do it live. Okay, and then he like, she's like, F it, let's do it live. This thing sucks. He just kind of throws a hissy fit over the whole thing. And then he does it live, and he does it fine. So I guess Bill O'Reilly works better under like actual pressure. I don't know. As far as whoever won this, they were both just kind of like mediocre. If these were in any of like maybe at the time these would have been considered really good until we realized how good these guys could be. But like if these were done in any of the current battles, like both of them would lose against whoever they're up against. no matter who it is. It doesn't matter at all. Uh, I don't know, man. I actually liked the first Bill O'Reilly verse, kind of. Um, I don't know. Bill O'Reilly hit harder, but I think Lennon hit him more. Let's just call this a draw. This one's a draw for me. I have no conclusion on this. You want to do another one? We're gonna do another one. I have Jim Henson versus Stan Lee. I think that could be fun. This is a case where I'm not particularly biased. I haven't really kept up with the Marvel Cinematic Universe at all. I haven't watched most of them. And there's Jim Henson, who's behind the Muppets, which I wasn't really raised on the Muppets. I didn't really care for puppets when I was younger, but now I find the art of puppetry kind of fascinating and fun. So I guess there's something there that I can really appreciate. But I don't appreciate it from like a nostalgic perspective. I guess I appreciate it more from like a modern, objective perspective, I guess, is the best way I can phrase it. So this should be a fun one. It's different. So let's get her started. So the first one I think is before they were bought by Maker. This one is during Maker, and I have one more after this, which is the most recent one, which is John Wick, John Rambo, and John something else. I don't remember who the third one is. But we've got, this one's when they were owned by Maker, and the next one is post Maker. So we've got like the three eras, I suppose. Maker Studios is the multi-channel network thing. It's stupid stuff. It looks good. Heroes. Just design wise, like leaps ahead of the previous battle. Like Jim Henson's a simple step for like Nice Peter to be turned into like a young Jim Henson. Stan Lee, that's spot on right there. That's pretty darn good. Rap Battle Street, lovely.
Greetings, heroes. Stan Lee's here to battle. It's the mind behind the Hulk against the geek beneath the flag. I'm just...
Ooh, the geek beneath the Fraggles. I haven't seen Fraggle Rock, but I think that's like intentional, that he's like reducing him to Fraggle Rock rather than being the Muppet guy, because the Muppets are considered like this great success. I don't believe the Fraggles were considered a great success in their time, though I know people are nostalgic for it now.
He's here to battle. It's the mind behind the Hulk against the geek beneath the flag. I'm just your friendly neighborhood writer man with a secret identity of a super MC whose raps are as dark as my shade. You're squealing like... You're in trouble now, Jimmy. You dirty old hippie. Your beard needs a little bit of snip dance.
There we go. He's picking up.
On your neck ain't sexy. Your one pot sweetums, the other pot skexy. Step up.
Ooh, I actually know what those are. I don't get all of the little reference here, but like what is it?
Heck, that face on your neck ain't sexy. Your one pot
Sweetums is like this just giant creature of hair, which, you know, makes sense, the beard. And Skeksis is this like monstrosity. It's like this bird reptilian creature. Like you'd have to look it up to really appreciate how uncomfortable it looks. And those are both Henson creations.
And the comics code. So keep your frog and pig show moving right along down the road.
I'm glad you got that out. That anger can clutter your mind. But you're a creative man, Stanley. Yeah. So let's just leave it behind. Because I can sense your tension. Once the verbal fencing starts commencing, there is no defense against the dents Jim Henson is dispensing.
Oh, he hasn't actually hit Stan Lee yet. He hasn't actually done any offense yet, but like as a lover of like words and how they work together, and I can barely find my own words. Once the verbal fencing starts commencing, there is no defense against the dents Jim Henson is dispensing. Like, all those, like, internal rhymes. You could rhyme the word at the end of the phrase all you want, and, like, that's cool. Hold on. I had to give the bird a seed. He's being a good bird for now. When you see like that sort of wordplay, there's and then like fitting so many rhymes into like a small space, you gotta appreciate that. That's the best writing so far we've seen today.
Starts commencing. There is no defense against the dents Jim Henson is dispensing. And I'll clench all your strings like you're a puppet in suspension. Call your superhero friends in. Yeah, because you're gonna need a vengeance.
He's still going.
All the vision that it took.
And he like caps it off, I think, with mention. I don't even know if that was intentional.
Because you're gonna need a vengeance.
He's still going on that.
I'm impressed by all the vision that it took for you to sign your name on all of Jack Kirby's comic books.
Nice try, Frogman, but Jack was a friend of mine. But that was a low blow. He did his own thing, and now you've made it clobbering time.
I don't know who that is. I don't know if that's the guy who did the thing. If he's the guy who did the thing, and therefore I guess Fantastic Four, I guess you might be saying like the Hulk is a ripoff of Thing. I don't get that one. We need a comic book nerd in here to get that. It's not like I don't know comic books, just not these comic books.
Oh, you taught children to count and spell. Then you taught your own kids how to drop your wife harder than you flopped on SNL. I'm telling you, Henson, you wouldn't like me when I'm angry. I'm a marvel of a party pooper. I'll snap your turtleneck like a doozer stick and put you out to pasture like Mr. Hooper.
Oh,
I'm
he
sorry,
wins.
Jim. Sometimes I
Game
can't
over.
control my rage. Honestly, there's a lot of things that you can't control at my age. But the truth is, I miss you. You were gone too soon. You were like watching a beautiful sunset at noon.
Oh, Stan, don't be sad. We all have a time to go. Yeah. Most of the internet thought that you died 12 years ago. But before always...
Oh, this is before Stan Lee died. Oh, that hits different. That aged different. Eventually that line is going to like not make sense. Which that's something there. This must hit some people like hard.
Yeah. Most of the internet thought that you died 12
You're big
years
into both
ago.
these guys.
But the four will always be fantastic. The Hulk will always be incredible. The words you wove within the hearts of heroes are indelible. There is no beef
This writing's
between us.
amazing.
We're two minds of the same kind. And there is no man who could ever muck with what we've left behind.
I rock the mic properly. Turning profits, I drive
Okay.
the key. I'm the juggernaut of stacking knots unstoppably. The Disneyland lord of your intellectual property. So get back to work. That's my time you're wasting. I didn't buy you for billions so you could play around debating.
Oh, he just comes in like full mast, if you know what I mean. Oh god. That's amazing. And I love that they got Zach Sherwin to do it, because as I've said in the past, he is my favorite. The way he weaves words, the way he always has like the most creative flow on any song he's on. He's the best person to do this, and he gets to come in like he's like the biggest guy in the locker room. Like, that's amazing.
You belong to Disney, which means you stay busy cranking out magic and assembly line whimsy. Artists begging me to star, I won't let 'em. Labor conditions in my show, I don't sweat 'em.
Like, normally that wouldn't work in a battle. Okay, a lot of these things, like, he's saying wouldn't work in, like, a normal rap battle, because it's like he's not hitting the other person directly, but he's basically saying, I own you, and therefore these things that apply to my workers apply to you as well, which makes it hit really hard. Labor conditions in my shop, I don't sweat them. I guess he had, like, notoriously bad labor conditions. They were not well ventilated and stuff, and you know, animators and stuff are generally It's a very demanding kind of work, even today. I think of the stories of like how difficult it is for artists in Japan right now, like anime studios. They have notoriously rigorous work schedules, especially those that are producing like weekly programming. It's absolutely insane what they have to do. So think about how far back we're going. The conditions might have been worse, probably were worse.
Powerful enough to make a mouse gigantic! With only 3 circles, I dominate the planet! Clearly, there's nobody near me! I'm owning this battle! In fact, I own this whole series! So I'm on.
Yeah, okay. That doesn't apply anymore because so ERB started under Nice Peter, and then you see from season 2, it's on its own channel, and I think that had something to do with them joining Maker Studios, which is owned by Disney. So during this time, they were under Maker Studios, and therefore they actually belonged to Disney. So the Epic Rap Battles of History, it was a Disney property at the time. Now they've gone independent, so they're no longer a Disney property, but this particular battle was produced under Disney.
Steamboat, boys! Don't run! I'll put a
Steamboat
smile
Willie.
on your face and green in your pocket! You'll be safe and insured when you're under my employ! Now look at it! Gaze upon my empire of joy!
So with that one verse, easily, I would say Disney killed them. But I would say between the main guys, Stan Lee, he just got more hits in. But I really enjoyed the writing of Jim Henson. It was like, it was such an easy thing to listen to, and the way he used his words was more creative and artsy and all that. But it wasn't best for a battle. But if you witnessed this in person as a rap battle, everybody would walk away being like, oh, Walt just like waltzed on in and just bodied them all. But yeah, Stan Lee won the original battle, but I think Walt Disney was my favorite there. So we got one more of these. So this next one is going to be interesting. John Wick, John Rambo, and John McClane. I think I've watched a little bit of Rambo, but I don't think I've ever watched a movie beginning to end. I haven't seen the John Wick movies, and I don't even really know who John McClane is. So I guess I'm judging this one from like a completely neutral standpoint. So bear with me if I miss some things on this one. This is the newest ERB, so I think it should be fun. I'm sure it'll look fire, but I'm afraid I might not get everything. That is that the na 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 na. Is that like the little violin thing at the beginning? And then it kicks in and it goes like na 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 na. I don't know if it's just a violin, but if something sounds like just like the na 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 na. That could be wrong.
John Wick versus John McClane versus John Rambo. Begin!
Alright, guess I'll be the one to draw first blood.
Or maybe you could draw an audience to see any of your new movies.
Come out to the coast, we'll have a few laughs, sounds sweet. But no, I'm stuck here with these two jerkweeds about to kick their ass with bare feet. I'll drop the beat. I'll set it off like it's the top of Nakatomi. Need a fire hose to swing on you, your boat's so below me. I haven't stopped killing it since Carl's brother Tony, and I got your detonators right here. Blow me.
Oh, like I like that he flips the below me, blow me thing. That's considered I think that's considered a homophone, which is when you say the same thing, like the way you say it is like the same way twice, but like they have different meanings. Like if we're talking about just words there, and there, they're all technically homophones. I wish I had a good example. I'm not really good at this sort of stuff.
We trapped home, Rambo. Cause you'll never take the W without the P and O. Does your lip hang low? Does it wobble to and fro? Can you string that shit up on your compound bow? Lighten up, Wick, with your brooding saga. How about a little Hakuna Matata, Baba Yaga? You got the trousers, tape, and the watch, spooker. But your acting falls flatter than the Hans. Leave the underground coin game to Mario Brothers. And John, Bobby. What the fuck's with the chest butter? The bandolier.
This is probably the guy I know least, and I'm loving him so much. It's the accent, like what I assume is like an overtly Italian stereotype. At least that's what it seems like he's going for, like an Italian gangster type.
The Mario Brothers and John, Bobby. What the fuck's with the chest butter? The bandolier looks heavy as shit. I'm like this prick's ring finger, only need one clip. I've been shot with shattered glass since the late 80s. And like your late pump, I'll leave you pushing up daisies. Less is more, boys. That's my advice. You, less survival knife. You, more survival wife.
Oh, I assume his wife was killed or something like that, 'cause that was pretty murderous right there. Okay, so we got Neo coming in. Let's see what we got.
Ooh. I'm gonna need a dinner reservation for 2. John Wick, I'm efficient and lean, a proficient professional killing machine, underworld overachiever looking dapper as I'm fucking only one of us to go 3 chapters without sucking. Between your elevator and...
Yeah, people do still seem to like the John Wick movies. That is the thing. I know for a fact that the Rambo movies, most people just think of the first one, I think. I wonder how they're going to be able to do Stallone in a rap battle. Have they done any Stallone characters in any rap battles yet? I don't think they have. I don't think they ever did, like, Rocky or anything like that. That's got to be weird. I'm sorry. I'm so distracted by, like, his weird, like, muscle suit he's got going on here. It's very distracting.
The mind where you were trapped. You're such wieners, I should call you both John Shaft. I cracked rhymes with pencils, then jam them in next. So I'm not vexed by that's flex and roid injected pecs. Being excommunicado wasn't more than I could handle, so I think I can withstand an excremental ex-commando. And this sad broken dad joke and popo is no foe for the virtuoso bad virtuoso. Ho 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 to quivers and bows. I'm delivering blows, and when they land, it won't help to make fists with your toes. Bitcoin, no. Hitcoin, certainly. I'll put you 2 in tune, call it cryptocurrency. Obey your superior like good cops and soldiers. Raven, Roy, you're done. Over.
So, if I have to judge the first 2, I know that... Sorry, my phone's gone off. Very impolite of me. I'm usually one to turn my volume off during a recording, but I've forgotten. I'm usually a Zach Sherwin guy, so John Wick is who I thought I'd be leaning into, but it's like it's a style plus substance thing. I think John McClane had style for days and substance from the looks of it. I'm sure there's a lot of like bars I missed between the 2 of them because I don't get a lot of the references, but I think I'm still leaning John McClane. And I think as far as like actually hitting, they're pretty close, but I think style wise I really love the energy that McClane brings, while Wick is kind of a understated but like really clever like punch guy, but it's easier to like miss it because he's not all up in your face about how clever he is.
Superior like good cops and soldiers. Raven, Roy, you're done. Over.
Nothing is over! Nothing! You just don't turn it on! Unless it's one of your movies. In which case, I just turn it on! When I rip off my shirt and start swinging my stick swords, I'm hotter than the suicide girls on your switchboard. My headband's red, but I got no love for comedy. No juice was used to produce these armies. High table rules don't apply to this conflict. I'll finish you right in the lobby. Mission accomplished. Hey! South is where your marriage went. The last pipe thing you slitted was an airbend. They used to say you were a handsome crusader. Too bad your hairline couldn't get saved by Steve Urkel's neighbor.
So it's weird. It's really weird. Um, some of his lines are really good, but like this is one of the cases where the style kind of like is distracting, but like I wouldn't expect any less from them doing a Rambo. If they were to like dull it down, I'd feel like he's not going Rambo enough. So I guess I'm cool with it.
Slip into the jungle,
I don't know if he's gonna win though.
Then ding, I pop him out behind you like seek peace, but I'm packing parabella. I was trained to be the very best soldier boy. I'm blasting RPG through NYPD's guns. Simon says you can PTSD nuts.
Jesus Christ, asshole!
A D's nuts joke, come on. Like that's I understand, like, okay, that doesn't even fit for their time. I don't think. When did Rambo come out? And I don't even know if that fits. I don't think you can even stretch that. I don't know.
What are you doing? This is not some Saturday morning cartoon for you to ruin.
Only thing getting ruined is McClane family Christmas. All your kids still have decent dad on their wish list.
Whoa, Rambo dropping bombs in his flows. Did your pals in the Taliban help you write those?
Those were Mujahideen. There's a difference. The Taliban formed in the 90s when you fell off with a vengeance.
Hey, who the fuck is...
Oh, that was actually pretty clever here. The Mujahideen, I didn't think I'd have to talk about this. Yes, there is there's kind of a connection there. I think we often do, and I'm guilty of this, like simplifying the transition from like the Taliban to the Mujahideen. But I believe like a lot of American weapons that were provided to the Mujahideen were used by Al Qaeda, and I believe there are plenty of Mujahideen members that ended up making up not Al Qaeda, sorry, the Taliban, sorry. Like I'm bound to be like the ignorant American and mix things together, but I caught myself. The Middle East is complicated.
Difference. The Taliban formed in the 90s when you fell off with a vengeance.
Hey, who the fuck asked you, dog pound? Why don't you go lock your mouth in a hole in the ground?
Oh, I do know that John Wick started with like his dog being killed. So that's actually...
Dean, there's a difference. The Taliban formed in the 90s when you fell off with a vengeance.
Hey, who the fuck asked you, dog pound? Why don't you go lock your mouth in a hole in the ground?
You're both a funeral suit away from presentable. I'm thinking I'm bad, and I'm thinking you're expendable.
You wanna die hard? Well, today's a good day. Let's go, motherfuckers! Yippee-ki-yay!
Oh wait, is John McClane from Die Hard? Oh god, I didn't know that. I haven't seen Die Hard. John McClane. Hold on. Googling this. I just looked up John McCain. Hold on. John McClane. Yeah, Die Hard. Yeah, I haven't seen Die Hard. I'm glad I haven't seen any of these. It put me on kind of even footing with them. Irish American. He's supposed to be Irish. Okay, I kind of see it. It's kind of like that gangster sort of talk he has going from, which, you know, Northeast gangster is either like Italian or Irish. I guess that would lean more towards Irish. But when you kind of put in like the American gangsterisms, which I don't think he's supposed to be a gangster, I'm not sure. It's easy for me to get them a little bit confused, especially when it's somebody who's not used to doing either of those accents, clearly. I don't know. I'll give it to John McClane because he entertained me the most, but like, oh, that John Wick line though, when you fell off in the 90s with a vengeance, that was kind of killer. I'll give it to John McClane barely. It's definitely not Rambo. It's definitely not Rambo, though he was definitely one of the most entertaining parts. I think John McClane was even funnier, despite the fact that Rambo was like a literal cartoon. That was really cool. I had a blast with this. I gotta go through more of these. I've got plenty of rap battles that I've not checked out yet. I don't do them too often, because there's only so many of them, and one day we're gonna run out. But I really enjoyed that. That was different. It was fun. We got to check out a good variety. I got to talk about Bill O'Reilly, Walt Disney, whatever this is. So that was all kind of cool. So if there's anything you guys want me to check out in next week's post show, let me know. I'm open to suggestions and stuff. That's so much that I can do, and many series that I've not finished, so we've got choices. All right. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. All right.